Hi there. Today I'm going to be gutting out this Reader's Digest book here and turn it into a journal. So I figured I'd bring you along with me for a little bit while I'm making it. I have this fabric here that I bought at a thrift shop for $1, this amount. And I'm going to use this for the cover. I'm going to use this side though for the cover. So first I'm going to gut the book out and show you how I do that. I have an X-Acto knife. Mine's kind of little. And I just cut it out, the book. I don't know if I can do it on this one. I might. Yeah, let me see. Yes. You can kind of see right in there. I'm getting really, really close to the thing. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see where I'm cutting? Okay. I don't want to cut my finger now. Once you get a spot like that right there, see that spot? You can usually go right down here. Just like that. Except for my blades is dull, so see how I got the first one off? I'll go to the other side. I'm trying to make sure you're in frame here. Kind of hard recording on the phone. Alright, there we go. So the book's out. Just the cover. That's what I do with these. These books would have just been in the trash if I didn't do this, so I never really feel bad about doing it. All right, let's see where I'm going to try to see if this, where I'm going to want to put the, like, imagine where the front will be. I think probably right here is where I'm going to do it. I think this is going to be the front part right here. See what I'm saying? The tower, where it says Paris. I think that's going to be actually on the front. Not unless if I can cut it to where, I hate to waste this whole fabric. Decisions, or should I just make it a pink journal? I don't know. I like this side better. Let me see. I got a spare piece here, so maybe I can. Yeah, it's going to just be a pink journal. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to try to put some of this fabric. Let me move this big piece out of the way. It's always decisions when you're doing this. You really never know what you're going to do until you start. So I think I'm going to use that side. I'm not totally sure yet, so just give me a second to think. I kind of like the... Yeah, I think I'm going to do the pink. Hey, it actually says journal right there. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Now it's going to make me want to put that there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not changing my mind again. All right, let me get my scissors. This is really cute fabric. Maybe I'll put the pink on the inside is what I'll do. So what I'm going to try to do is glue this down to where I can have enough to fold over. I think I will, right in here. I'm trying to get that one mark. You can see where it says journal right there. I'm trying to get that to where I'm... So it's going to be glued down right there. Take your fab. This is my favorite for this. This is what I like. It holds very well. Anytime I glue fabric on the covers like this, this is the only glue I'll actually use, unless if it's a, napkin or something like that. Then I'll use it. I'll use other glue. I'm trying to get the hole bigger here. It got clogged up on me. I should have tipped up. It's not going to work, is it? Let me stick this down in there further to open it up. They always want to give you a hard time. This glue dries so fast in the nozzle. Let's see if I got it. I usually end up with more glue on my finger. There we go. I get around the edge very good, you can see. I don't think I have a scraper here, of course. I'm a little lazy to get up this morning. Actually, it's not laziness. My back's been out. I was getting that seam right there really well, too, so that way when I go to fold the fabric... Can you see? Yeah. Edge very well. Get the edge very, very well. I hope you can see. My cat's in my other workstation. Right now it's his sunning hour, so can't disturb him, Alright, so that's that. And try to keep that tipped upside down. My other one's open, dripping everywhere. All right, now I'm gonna flip it back over and try to line it up like I showed you just a minute ago to where I can get that one word. I'm trying to get this journal word on the front, see? Right there. Push, push down very, very well. And bend the cover. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is get my blade here and cut it, even it out. Actually, I'm gonna tip it this way because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm gonna cut off the excess here. And just kind of even it out the best I can is what I'm doing right now. Let me try to back you out just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Only thing I have for recording right now is my phone, so eventually I'm gonna end up with the GoPro, I'm hoping. But for now, this works. As long as I could share what I'm doing with others, I'm good. All right, let's take a little bit off this side. And I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna put the pink on the inside. It's really gonna be cushiony because this is like quilting fabric if you look. See, it's got the stuff inside. All right. I'm thinking about taking this and putting this in here like this and then folding it over. Or I'm gonna glue this first. Let's glue this edge first. I'm gonna go ahead and get the glue. Let's see if this one moved down. This is my one that don't have that much. It's gonna be hard to hold that one corner because it's a little bit short there. The fabric's short. It's getting dark in here. The sun just went around a cloud. I'm just holding this part right here because this corner's thinner than the fabric. So I'm holding this to get it started. You can see. I might set something on it here in a second if it doesn't stay down. I just thought that this was going to be really pretty, this fabric for a cover. That's actually why I got it. I thought it was really pretty for this. Really wasn't a whole lot of it when I just bought that little roll that I showed you at the thrift shop. It was only $1 for a pretty good amount, so I'm gonna make a couple journals out of it. Whatever I can make out of it, I'll be happy, but it's pretty. I'm just working this around, taking my time, trying to get this on here. Probably should have cut it a little longer, make my job a little easier here, but that's all right. We'll work with it, won't we? This stuff glue is so sticky too. I could probably put some clamps on it if I really wanted to, but then... Alright, I think I got a good amount of glue on there to try to start this. I put it all along the actual inside there underneath, so it might help me hold it down a little bit better. And we won't be making this a 3-hour-long video. Because before I only had it up there and the fabric wasn't reaching. So, kind of my mistake. Now it's working pretty good. And then when I put the fabric on the inside, you won't even see all this cluster mess up here. How short I cut it. I should have cut it just a tad wider. So that way when I rolled it like this, I wouldn't be struggling to try to fold it, is what I mean. Get the glue. Everything sticks to your fingers with that stuff. But it's good glue, that's why I like it, so I'll deal with that. Alright, let's get it up on there. Then I'm going to cut a piece and put the pink in the middle. Hopefully my sewing machine will go through all this sewing together. I think it will. I have an older sewing machine that I bought just for this, to sew through the spine when I get the journals made. Because some of them end up a little bit thicker. Alright, I think I've got it pretty flat. This area here I might have to hold And I'll zoom in here and show you what I did. It looks like a mess, but it's actually going to look good when it's done. Wow, what a cool looking journal. I want to get this corner tucked in a little bit better here. I don't like that. I think I have more on my fingers than I do on the cover. All right, so that's what we have done so far. I got the whole cover on the front done. Let me show you. So it actually did work out to where I got the journal right there in the front. So that's the cover that I did. Went from that Reader's Digest book to this. I really think it's nice. I like it. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other side of it here, and I want to put the pink on the inside, I think. So let's see if I can go ahead and lay this here to use this as my template and try to cut as close as I can. I gotta find my ruler. I probably lose stuff like 20 times when we're in the video, so bear with me. Especially my scissors. I won't even get up and I'll lose my scissors. Alright, I'm gonna cut this as close as I can. I'm using the journal as a template, and I need a new blade. Let me try to tighten it maybe. Then once I get it as close as I can, I'll straighten it out. But for now, I'm just doing this. I guess I could take the tag off my ruler. I just bought it. There we go. That one cut better. Just going to go on the inside, but I still want it to be cut nice. All right. One more side. And I'll straighten it out once I get this off. Because I don't want to get too close, because if I get too close, I'll end up cutting the cover, the fabric I just put on. All right, there we go. I need my trash bin over here. All right, let's straighten this out a little bit now. Oh, my glue's falling over there. I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit. Use the mat here so it's not all yucky. There we go. I'm not used to working on this station. I'm usually over there with my cat sunning himself right now. This is my tall cutting table I have here in my studio. I don't know why I have the scissors. One more side. I'm going to try to show you a little bit more how I do inside the journals this time in the video. Hopefully I can get it if I don't take 3 hours. I'm going to try to show you a little bit. I'm going to try to turn the light on over here first of all. Maybe I can see better. Bring this light over there because then I'll be able to see better. I'll be right there. I'm just grabbing a light. I don't usually do a lot of my working over here at this table, but Bob, everybody that knows Bob on my channel, he's over there sunning himself right now in my spot. He's like, what? This is my spot. Alright, I can see a little bit better. Can you see better? Alright, now I got it all cut and it's all even, the best I can get it. I am going to glue it on the inside. I'm pretty happy with that cover. That's just the start of it. Let's see how... Yep, this will go good. I'll just have to make sure I get really good on that area there. See how kind of... I'll try to start there. That way I'm going to start here so I can press all this fuzzies down. I'm going to go on top of the fabric here, is what I'm going to try to do. Alright, let's start with that little corner so I can flatten it. Make sure I got the top. Okay, that's the top. Now, I'll probably end up, I'm sure, end up having like ribbon and lace and all that too along the journal too as I go along. This is just my start, how I normally start them when I'm doing them. I need to peel some of this glue off my fingers. It's driving me crazy. Pretty nice, huh? I really like this journal. As soon as I seen the fabric, I knew what I was going to do with it, too. That's funny. Alright, let's get all this up here. A pretty good amount of glue on this when I do this. Let me show you. I don't have it all the way to the edge yet, though. You see, I put a pretty good amount of glue. I'll go all the way. I'm just trying to make sure I got this edges in here. See this, how I'm doing this? It looks pretty good. Now just the final touch here and we're good. I'll have to tuck that in right there. Alright, hopefully that's enough. If you hear any screams in the background, I do have 3 parrots, so right now they're all resting, so I figured I might as well try to get a video in. See, I was pulling that fabric all along there, so I don't have any space. There's a little bit of a spot I don't like there, but I'll end up putting ribbon or something over it. So that's it. That went from a Reader's Digest to this now. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just pressing all the glue. And I did take out some ribbons that I might end up using in this. Like, for example, this might be lined like along here. Like that, you know. Or I might just go ahead and take it and put it along the edge and the inside. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But I know I am going to use this pink. I might end up just putting this pink all in here now. I should have did it underneath. But that's what I got done. Let me see what I want to put on the front here. Do I want to put this on there? It don't look too bad. I don't know what I'm going to do with that part, but this is what I got done. Right now I'm going to work on the signatures now that I got this done. So that's the outside of the journal. And then the inside. I really like it. I grabbed a bunch of papers to try to get myself a little bit prepared for this, making this video, so hopefully I have the right ones here. Gotta get some tea. And this is just to give you the basic idea of how I do them. I've been having a couple people ask me. I have a whole stack of different papers here. Book pages, coffee dyed paper, some scrapbook paper, some regular paper, some printables I did. I just have a whole stack I brought over here because I knew I was going to be doing this journal. Some inking I did on a page. So what I'm going to do is just get 2 signatures ready. I'm going to grab miscellaneous papers here and do 2 signatures. Let me back you out just a little bit so you can kind of... What I do when I do this is I get 2 piles going. So I know what I'm doing here. See how I got... That's actually a copy of this, so I think, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, it is, so we won't use that. We'll use the original, and I'll keep the copy for me. And I have these bigger scrapbook papers here. I'm going to go over on my cutter and cut them. I've got the cutter right here. I have some of my own ones that I designed too, some of my own digitals. I've been doing that lately too. That's fun. Designing your own digitals. I have one of those little handheld scanners and I scan everything into it and onto my computer. It's really cool. Alright, so I cut down those scrapbook papers. So what I'll do is I always lay that down first, like that. Take this side, lay it down, and I'm starting my piles. Okay? And I have all these different stuff here. Let's see what we want to do. Some of this coffee dyed paper of mine, I'm not going to be using in a journal. I'll have to use it on a tag. It looks It's my own coffee dyed paper. I always put a bunch of that in there. A lot of people like the way that it writes. I don't know what that is. I have some weird piles going over here. And just some stenciling I did. That can go in there. I have some writing paper. I'll put writing paper in both piles. This is just another paper I made. Just some type of stenciling. And probably the Tim Holtz spray too. And this is my paper that I dyed and I scanned it. Put that down. Another stencil I made. I just grabbed a whole bunch. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with the journal, so I'm just trying to do it so I can give you some ideas on how to make your own and how to put the signatures in is what this video is actually for. Oh, this needs to go this way. I'm gonna try to put 20 pages in each. These are from them vintage books. If you watched my TikTok, I have tore apart some very cool books. I'm going to put some of these images in it, I think, just in the page. Let's put this one. See how cool the images are? I recycled the whole books. They're from I think the 30s. Put those in here. Some of my pink paper that I made. And that. This was just a stenciling thing. That's going to go in here too, each one. Alright, let me see. I usually put a lot more scrap paper, but I don't have it out, so I'm just going to do this as an example just to kind of show you how I put them together. I usually have a lot more scrapbook paper in them. I'll put one of my digitals. That was one of my digitals. Put that in there. And let's see what else. We'll put this in here. And this I'm just going to... There we go. That was another one of my digitals right there. So that'll be the center. What I always try to do when I do them is I always try to put, because it's going to be folded like this, I always try to put a scrapbook or something on there and then something pretty in the center of the signature. Let me count how many pages are here. There's 12 there in that one. Let's see what's in the other one. So let's pull out 2 of these. All right, that should be good enough. I'm gonna put one more plain. And I need to get a couple envelopes and put them in there too. I'm gonna cut this paper in half, this graphed paper, and put that in there too. Let me move all this stuff off my cutting. I'm gonna stick this in somewhere. And where do we want it? Right in there. I'm gonna go grab a couple envelopes to put in. It's nice that I got all my stuff organized in here. I bought those drawers from Michaels, and it works out really good. I have everything labeled now to where I can. So I got 2 different envelopes. I'm gonna put in each signature and open the flap so that way. Actually, I'm gonna cut off the flap. That's going to go in one. It's going to go in another. So I'm just going to take it and randomly put it anywhere. Make sure it's not upside down. I like this one. This is a nice big envelope. Where are we going to put it? Right there. Now what I do is I'll go through and I'll fold them all and look and see if I'm happy with what I got in there. Knowing me, I'll probably change it like 10 times. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna put another music page. I'm gonna stick these in each one too, see them? I gotta cut them down a little bit though. I like all the different sizes in the book, in the journal, so I cut them down. They're just coffee dyed music pages. Let's stick that in here. Right there, and stick this one in here. Here's my bone folder thing. I'm gonna get that and sit down and fold some papers. I got a couple other ones that I just printed too. I think I'm going to put in here. I like to give them a lot of writing space in my journals when I make them instead of filling them up, these ones. When I do the altered ones, you know, the ones where I leave the book pages in and stuff, there's not as much space to write. But these ones here, I like to put a lot of space. I'm going to put these in there too. I Mod Podged these the other day. These old book pages. I'm going to stick them in there too. Look at that. I got 2 of them. By the time I'm done, this book's going to be so thick, I won't be able to sew through it. That's usually what ends up happening. Alright, so I got the 2 signatures built to what I'm going to put in them. And I'm going to go and start folding pages. Got my bone folder here. Oh, sorry. Let me adjust this camera so you can see what I'm doing better. I got the bone folder. As you can see, it's got glue all over it. I'm going to start with my first page of the signature and fold it in half. You don't really have to do every one of them. I think it gives it a good... I mean, you can do them by hand, is what I'm saying, or use the end of your scissors. I got glue all over. I'd like to put a couple pieces of cardstock in this too. But I didn't pull any out. That envelope there. All my journals are different. I really never do them 1 or 2 the same. Whatever comes to my mind when I'm making them, really. That's cute. See how I did that stenciling? I love that. This was an image scanned from a vintage book. It was actually green. It's really cool, the original of that. There's some hand wrote on there. Somebody hand wrote, see? Hopefully I didn't make it too thick, I'm hoping. I kind of want to put some more stuff in it, but I didn't really pull it all out, so let's put this one here. These vintage book pages are so thick, and it really makes good homemade paper, too. They're so much thicker than the books today. They really are. I'll show you. Let me show you what books those came out of. In case you're not on my TikTok. They came out of these books here. These images. And they are, see the images? Check out the images in these books. This book is from, let me see. 1935. I'm using the whole actual book. None of this book will go to waste. They were discarded. This one doesn't say it on it. Let me get another one to show you. See, they're discarded books. Pretty beat up, but the pages are in really, really good shape in them. But they were supposed to be thrown out, so. But look at the pages. How can you discard? If I can save a book, I'll save a book. And this one's being saved, so. Alright. I just figured I'd show you where those came from because they're really cool. That's the other page from it that I Mod Podged. Put this way. Now, of course, I'll be putting pockets and I'll be putting different things in this too. These are just to start. This is just to show you how I put them together. I wasn't quite totally prepared. That one's already folded. All right, and this is going to be the center. All right, so that's one signature that I got all folded, the best it can be. And it's going to go, let's see how much I have to cut off. I didn't think about that. I think I'll cut a lot off. I think this book is actually going to hold one signature now that I look at it. I think I'm just going to add more to this. First of all, I got to cut down the papers, but I think I'm just going to add more to this signature, because look at how much. There's not going to be a lot of room in there to put two. So I think what I'm going to do is add more to this book. Some of my favorites out of the second signature will definitely be this page. Definitely going to add that page. Yeah, I'm just going to make it one signature. Let's put this inside like that. Right in there. Try to make it like 30 pages maybe. I don't know. Figure it out when I get there, right? You never know what you're doing when you're hanging with me. I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. That's definitely the pink. And I like that other stencil page. That's perfect. And my stencil page is going in there. Now I'm going to flip through them and see what I got. I didn't realize I was going to have to cut it down that much, but that's not, I have one of those big. And I'm going to put that pink in there too. In there. Alright, so that's what we're going to have. I'm going to go cut this down on my cutter. I have a big cutter here. I can actually probably pull it in front of you so you can see me cutting it. Let me bring it over. I'll bring it over so you can see. I'm just trying to get this light adjusted. I have one of these big cutters, like the old-fashioned style. Got lucky and found it at a garage sale for $5. This one. I don't even make them like this, I don't think, anymore, do they? I don't know. But anyways, this is my cutter. I have to cut these down a little bit each page because they're a little bit bigger than I thought. Because the book's not, you know. What I'm going to do is look at them and estimate. This is going to be a cute little journal when I'm done with it. Because you can see how much I need to cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the top of the pages. I have the signatures in it. And I'm going to cut some off the top. Just line them all up. Split it in half because it won't do it all. And then just cut. I use the line on my machine here, on this too. Not machine, but to try to estimate. But I mean, it is a junk journal. See how much that cuts through? Let's do just a little bit more. This thing is one of the older ones, I think. I don't know. I have a new one and it did not cut like that. Let's see if this fits. A little bit more. See the difference? There we go. Now I'm just going to line this other one right up with it. This is my other signature here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this one that I just cut as a template on top. To see how much I got to cut off. Sucker cuts. Look at all those little ends. Alright, now let's take look and see how much needs to be cut off the other side. I like it sometimes to hang over the other side, the edge though. Now that's perfect. Look. This is okay, I think, because I'll take a tiny bit off of it, but I usually put, like, if I put the lace, it's going to hang over. But I'm going to take a tiny, tiny bit off of one. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm not messing it up. And it might end up cutting words that I don't want to cut. So that's it. We're just going to do one signature like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get my old sewing machine that I have that I sewed through these with. I'm going to show you how I sew it through with the sewing machine. Put my stuff back. I have a old Kenmore sewing machine that I use for this. It's right here. Let me move you down once I get the plug. I have to unplug the light. I don't have any plugs in here. I have to run an extension cord for everything I need. It's hard sometimes, but gotta do what you gotta do. I don't have none of the plugs in this room work. So let me plug my, so I have one cord with an extension cord. Let me show you the sewing machine. This sewing machine here is just an old Kenmore, but it's a beast. I mean, it will sew through some stuff. So, because my other ones, I have a newer one. It's a Singer patchwork, and then I have the Brother sewing machine that's actually an embroidery machine too. I won't do it, run them through that. It'll just ruin them. And this is a non-mechanical. So, all right, let me get a piece of fabric to run a test through to make sure it's okay, because I just rethreaded it. And I don't know if it's going to be messing up on me, so I figured I'd just use a piece of fabric to check before I screw up my book. When I sew in the signatures, too, another thing that I like to do is I like to sew them in a zigzag so they don't rip. Because it seems like if you do a straight stitch, it'll rip. Let's see if this thing works. Oh, there it goes. It's sewing. You can see how good it sews. I'll show you. This is a really, really good machine. See the stitching it does? Let me show you. See how? Alright, it's sewing pretty good, so let me cut this off and go get my, I think I actually, let me pull you back up here. I got my clips in here, so what I do is I take these clips like this. I line my signature up, which this one's not too bad because it's got one. I want to put a different page in the center. Let me fix this. I moved it around. And now's where you want to check and make sure everything's straight and lined up, nothing's upside down, all that. Because right now I already see my envelopes upside down. So there was a page I wanted to put in the center, and I don't know what I did with it. I want to put this on the, right here's the center. I want that in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to check everything and make sure it's all the right way. See how the writing's wrong? Let me make sure. Yeah, that writing, see how it's... So this will be the top. Now let me go through and check everything and make sure everything's the right way. So I don't want to have to take it all apart. And usually I'll sew my, on the edges of my... Like if you want to put... Let me get one of my books to show you what I'm talking about. It'll help you understand it better. Like this is my Gothic one that I did. It's made from the same way. And before I sew them in my signatures in my book, like this is sewn in, you can see. I do all this part. I sew all the pages. Like if I want to put lace on each page, little tabs on each page. I want to sew pockets. Like see how I did the corner pocket on that? I do all that before I sew them in the book. It's so much easier. But for demonstration, I'm just showing you how I do it on here. But if you want to sew anything extra on your pages, do it before you run it through the sewing machine like this stage. It makes it so much easier because it's too hard to fit the any of the pages in the whole book through the sewing machine. You can see it. I did it on my other one too. This is one that I made too. I sewed all the lace and all the stuff on the pages first. All right, so now that everything's lined up, the envelope should be the same way too, right? Let's move the envelope to the middle. The envelope slid up, so I got to fix that. Oh, that's the paper. Yeah, the envelope we want down. Now that I got everything the way I want it, what I do is I just line up like that the best I can. Kind of center and look at it. Like that. And take your clips. Make sure it's... And clip it. Now let's hopefully it goes through this, because this is actually pretty thick. So, we'll see. And I kind of fold it a little bit to get the... Alright, we're going to run it through and see what happens. See if we mess my machine up. Kind of see where I want it. Okay. I got to turn my needles up. Hopefully it goes through it. And sometimes you have to push. See how it's going? Let me bring you down so you can see a little bit better. And this is a lot. This machine goes through a lot. I mean, look at it. It's going right through that. I meant to do the backwards and reverse at the front there, but I didn't. But I will here. When you go to sew them in, do the backwards and forwards at the end, so it's, see how it just preserves them better, makes it better. Okay. All right, so that's it. That's how fast it gets sewn through on this machine. I told you, this thing is a beast. Let me find my scissors. That's what I call it. I call it a beast. I'm going to go ahead and go back over the front, though, because I want to make sure it's going to stay. I didn't do the reverse here at the beginning, so I'm going to do that real quick. Let me get you back in frame there. I want to go back. Oh, see what it just did? Almost broke it. The poor machine is like, what are you doing to me? I think I just broke the needle. Let me get a new needle. I shouldn't have went back, huh? It must have hit something. You can see the needle in there. See it? Must have hit something on the book. All right, let me go get another needle. You know I have them, that's for sure. And I gotta try to find something to pull that needle out of the book. I think it hit something when it went down. This needle's old too. There's the piece of the needle I just pulled out of the book. All right, let's change this needle. That was a 90-14 in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put it, I think it's a 70-10, we should see. Hopefully it works. Sometimes you get them, then they break. Sometimes you get them and they break. But this is a badass machine, it really is. And I'm not kidding either. I have arthritis in my hands, so this kind of stuff gets to me trying to position stuff. Come on, baby, get in there. Usually I can do this right away, but I guess whenever you're been talking to yourself for half an hour, things start getting hectic. There it goes. I just want to make sure it's up there pretty good. I'm surprised it broke. I think that needle was already bent though. Let me go throw that away so I don't, my cat don't get it. He gets into everything in here. He is a monster boy is what he is. All right, let's rethread. And then I'm going to run a test through before I just go ahead and stick this book back up there and break another needle. Did it go through? No. You can just put fast forward for a minute. No, I got it. There, oh, nope, I don't got it. My finger was stuck on it. I can see it if I put my finger behind the needle. That's how I can see the little hole. All right, I think we got it. Let me do a test on that fabric before I mess up another needle. All right, it's okay. Now let's see if we can try it one more time without, hopefully it doesn't mess up break the needle. I just wanted to do one more, like a back stitch there. I'm gonna go ahead and go in first. There we go. See how it's having a hard time, so I'm not going to push it. I already got a couple stitches in there, so that'll be good. I said this was a little bit thick, but that's okay. We got it. Let me show you here. I'll move the sewing machine out of the way. I'll show you what it did. This one was a little bit hard on that machine. Not much is hard on that machine. So that's what I got done. I'm happy with the results. Let me lift it up so I can show you. So it's so, I can't really see it, but see the stitch. So that's it. That's the journal from a Reader's Digest. Not too bad, huh? I kind of bend the pages too. I'll take the pages and I'll be adding a lot more stuff to this too. I'll be adding different pockets and stuff. Like I have a lot of pockets and stuff that I had already made. Let me see if I can. I have a whole section of stuff here. Like this is my section of stuff that I had already made. Like see how I have little pockets in here? that I made. So what I'll do now is I'll go through this like that. That will go in here. How about I do a few with you? Let's move this out of the way. And like this is just an envelope. You can see this side here. It's one of your junk mail envelopes. And I just redo them. And I'm going to glue that right there, actually. And that's what I'll do with at this stage is I'll sit there and do this. Now that I have, I make up a bunch, so it makes it easier whenever you get to this stage. Is what I'm saying. My poor sewing machine, I about killed it today. I can't get this glue off my finger. All right, that's one. And then you just set it down like that. And now you have a pocket. Let me get a tag too, so I can show you. I also make up a lot of the little index cards too, these. I have a whole bunch made, see? And then what I'll do is I'll just, like this here can be a tag. Stick it right in there, and that's done. So that's what I do at the end too. Gives you some ideas. Isn't that nice? So that's what I have done. And went from an old Reader's Digest to this, so I hope you liked. I even showed my mess-ups with the sewing machine screwing up on me, but it's all good around here because we all learn, and I almost broke my machine. No, just kidding. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope everybody's having a great day and being safe out there. Take care.